Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we arrived here in the crystal's resting place, where we are bringing the crystals back to where they rightfully belong, powering them up to stop the Knight's Nexus. We were able to complete the Earth and Fire room and powering up their crystals, and today, we are going to be moving on to tackling the Wind and Water crystal rooms. I've gone ahead and swapped my team back over to what they were earlier after dealing with Kotoba Pass, and we are going to be starting today, I believe... Actually, no, we will not be going that way just yet. We're going to tackle the other room first. To the far left, this is where we're going to be starting today. Welcome to the Wind Room. This area is sort of structured sort of like a hedge maze of some kind. Thankfully, we can kind of see what's in front of us, but it is kind of like a spirally room. I think this is probably the least offensive of the areas and the easiest to navigate, so there shouldn't be any real worries here. Now that I've said that, I'm definitely going to run into problems. Midnight Wizzy, roughly 6,000 HP, weak to Earth, Light, and Bows. Not bad. Go ahead and just get over to Seth's turn. I do not have his AoE abilities on him. That's not good. I still have Dragoon on. Let's put Berserker. Did I mess up anyone else's? No, I didn't. Just Seth. The one I need to deal damage. There's a lot of new enemies here, actually, it looks like. Let's go ahead and examine these guys. Xanthos, about 7,000 HP. Weak to Light, Spears, and Staves. Not bad. Alright, let's get this auto battle set. Half damage daggers, that is a little frustrating, I'll be frank. Let's go ahead and just get Seth up here. And since these guys are undead, let's just send a Healaga at them, and that should be enough. Seth learned rewarding results, that took me a second. He's almost job level 11, which is what I want him to be at. Unfortunately, let's see if we can't... I might need to take off daggers and give him a bow, honestly. Just give him something that he can use to fight. I don't want to have to deal with the half damage dagger thing. Let's go to the east here. Break off from the spiral. Okay, fight another horsey man. No new enemies, so level slash. Oh, hey, these guys are vulnerable to bows. That works for me. And what we get? Treasure chest. Healing bloom. I just realized that this place is on top of... This is really far down, and yet this wind room is really high up. You can see the spires holding this area up. I mean, I guess Musa is built at the top of a mountain, so I'm guessing this crystal chamber area is just built into the mountain. And so that's why we're able to see all of these big areas, and it makes sense. Quartz blades. I mean, this area. This world is pretty magical, so I don't think it really matters all that much. But you know, I like to add a little bit of logic to the world. You know. Okay, let's go ahead and enter this maze properly. Let's try to reach the middle. Obviously, the boss is at the very north end of the map. Let's see if we can't spiral our way into the middle. I see a treasure chest right there. I'll keep that in mind. Fight this guy right here. I don't think there's too many new enemies in this area. I think we've seen all of them. Go ahead and just sweep these guys. And I guess I'll go ahead and talk about my story with this area. So, the Wind Dungeon itself isn't really all that bad. Again, I think it is probably the easiest to navigate, as you can kind of see everything around you. There's not really anything that's obscuring your view, and because it's kind of in a spiral formation, there really isn't much for you to get lost with. However, I will say that I definitely handicapped myself when playing through this dungeon in general, as this wind room was actually the last one I did, and for some stupid reason, I did not want to go back and get resources, because, okay, let me go ahead and start from the beginning. I did not think this dungeon was going to be as big as it is. I mean, obviously it's realistically 5 rooms, but it's still pretty big compared to some of the other dungeons. It just might feel a little smaller because of my editing. Now, I did not enter this dungeon with the idea that this was going to be a long trek. I wasn't expecting 4 bosses either, that are kind of like this game's versions of the 4 fiends, if you kind of think about it a little bit. But I wasn't going into this expecting 4 dungeons and 4 bosses. I was expecting maybe like 1 long dungeon, but that there'd be like a mini boss, and then it would be the big boss at the very end. That was not the case. I need to heal now. Okay. I was not expecting it to be like this. And being a stubborn gamer, I decided that I was not going to break immersion and leave Musa to restore my items if I needed to do that. And so I entered this dungeon with, honestly, not enough items to be prepared. Like maybe 5 tents, a few items, a few ethers here and there, but really nothing that I was like, okay, 2 tents, maybe like 20 ethers and whatnot. That should be more than enough. It was not. And I quickly ran out of resources because Catopalpass and, what was it, Immortal, both of those fights gave me a run for my money. I didn't think they were too bad, but they still drained me of my resources. And so I was sitting there with basically nothing. And I had to go through this area and the next area with basically no resources. At least until I had gotten a little bit further into the final zone. Then I had to go back and actually restock because, as we'll see in a little bit, I had some problems with that fight. There we go, level 52 on everyone. Slowly but surely making our way around that. I have lost track of where I am. I've gotten the Tengu sneezes. I think my next job is to go around here, perchance? I think I've already gone, yeah, okay. I've already gone around here. That's the chest I mentioned earlier. So let's go up around here again, and I can loop around to the right, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And that'll let me grab that treasure chest. Yes, so if I take this path and go to the right, this should let me get to this next item. Of course, after I'm done dealing with these stupid things. Oh, hey, I just one-shot them. Nice. Okay, well, that worked. Let's go down here. That should be our next treasure chest. Perfect. Oh, of course, I needed to heal myself. Damn it. Okay, hang on. Ah, I didn't even need to heal. Was not punished for my hubris, though. Seth is just so close to job level 11. Giant axe. Ooh, okay. Let's see here. Enormous single-edged axe that is favored with colossal characters everywhere. I'm assuming that is significantly stronger than any other axe I've got right now. It's 11 power stronger than the big brush. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. I think I'll do one more fight with Seth's Phantom, and then I'll probably swap them around. And then I think Gloria has also reached... Okay, yeah, she reached level 10 with Arcanist, so let's go ahead and move her somewhere else. I'm thinking probably Oracle. I think we can do Oracle. I think that works. Get Noble Sacrifice, get a few extra things there. She can just stay with White Mage as a sub-job. That'll work out. I do not want to deal with the Horsey. That's a dead end. That's where the boss arena is. I saw the save point pad right there. Go and fight this guy. There we go. Seth learned Dual Wield. Perfect. I think the bow is still going to be my best pick because of the half damage daggers, but it's good to have Dual Wield regardless. That is going to come in handy for the upcoming encounters. Looping all the way to the left end of the maze here. This should be our path to the boss. Alright, up we go. Let's see. Avoid you. I'm definitely a little too strong now. I mean, they aren't running away from me yet. There's the save point, and here is our treasure chest for the area. Last one. 3 goulashes. Okay. It's not bad, especially with there being spirit enemies somewhere in here, I think. Actually, no. We've only fought undead enemies. Have we? No, I think the Horsies are I think they're spirits, right? No, the elements are spirit enemies. Okay, so if we were in that other area earlier, yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, you could take use of that if you did these rooms in a different order. Okay, I've swapped things around again. We can get a good look of who we're about to fight. Let's go ahead and briefly go over what I've done. So, Swordmaster Seth is, well, I kind of spoiled it, didn't I? He's Swordmaster Vanguard, so we can take use of double duty's specialty, so that we can get a crap ton of physical attack while having a lot of speed. He is going to be running the Amino Murakumo and Flame Tongue, as fire damage is actually going to be pretty useful here. Then we have, Gloria's gonna be on Oracle. I want to level this up on her, and again, she's gonna be playing support. If we can, we'll probably try to supplement our opponent's attacks to be something that our tank can be immune to, but we'll see how well that goes. In terms of her passives, she's not running anything too crazy. Elvis is our tank. You guys know this combination pretty well. Shield Master, Selfmaker. The downside is that items are actually something that this boss is about to be able to counter, and so I have to have counter savvy on him so that we don't get punished for that. Otherwise, Elvis is going to be playing the team tank. This is pretty self-explanatory. He can absorb fire damage, he can absorb dark damage. Obviously, this boss, well, not obviously if you don't know, this boss doesn't really deal elemental damage, but with elemental supplements from Gloria, we should be able to make it to where Elvis doesn't take any damage at all. Then we have Adele here, who is on Red Mage Oracle. So again, we have access to supplement if we need it. But she's going to be our magic damage dealer. Magic damage is going to be pretty useful in this fight, and so we have her ready to go on that. Hopefully everything works out. I need to save. Okay, now that we've saved, now we can fight this guy. Here we go. That's a big boy. Oh my!
Oh my goodness!
Just the scream plus a oh, I love that. All right, let's go ahead and defend the people here. There we go. I don't know why that. Oh, what a way to start this. Hello, Ashura. 117,000 HP, weak to fire, wind, swords, and bows. Yeah, we're in for a fight. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Adele back in this fight. There we go. Alright. Elvis, let's go ahead and default with you. Let's see if we can't get ourselves an elemental supplement. There is his main buff right there. Aim plus 100%. You are not going to be dodging his attacks when that is up. We need to get Gloria's turn around here as soon as possible. Divination, elemental supplement. We're gonna put it as, let's do dark. There we go. That should make it to where now he only does dark attacks, which thankfully Elvis absorbs. And let's start with, let's do some, I'm trying to think here. Let's lower his physical attack by 7%, and let's just go on the offense here with Neo Cross Slash. Here we go. Lots of damage. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that damage. Let's go default here. There we go. There's the regen right there. Let's go default. Obviously, the supplement is gone now, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and get over to Adele's turn as soon as we can. And let's start working him with this. So he doesn't resist Earth, and so Disaster is actually going to be our best bet here. And we get lots of damage out of this. He doesn't counter magic attacks, so we get all of this extra damage. And that puts him at 18,000 HP. Perfect. Let's go ahead and supplement dark damage to him again. And let's start waiting around. If he decides to do any attacks to us, Elvis will be able to guard it pretty easily. Here we go. There's the regen. Okay. Unfortunately, we ran out of those multi-hits, so we're just gonna have to get everyone up here. Let's do Phoenix down for Adele, then let's widen area and X potion, and then we'll do Defender of the People. There's that counter that we're okay with. Gloria, let's supplement a dark attack power to there. Get that regen going. And then let's just go ahead and wrap up this fight with Disaster. There we go! Ashura taken care of. Obviously, I went into this fight with a physical attacker and an item user, therefore, he was going to get counters off quite often, but otherwise, just bring a tank who can take the hits, try to mitigate as much damage as you can, and take him down super fast. And we got a Flare Hatchet, too. And with that, we can put the Wind Crystal right where it belongs.
Heed my call once more. You who have suffered through so much.
Oh, I don't know if I've suffered. No more than any of the others, anyhow. And when things got tough, we all helped one another. And it wasn't just my friends who helped me. We met so many people along the way. People who were prepared to fight for what's right. People who had the courage to make a stand, instead of just accepting their fate.
Just as you once refused to accept yours when offered the choice. You do not regret that choice?
Not for a second. If I helped even one person, that means I did the right thing. One person, 1,000, it doesn't matter. It was all worth it. And even if it was hard sometimes, plenty of people have had it much harder than me. If I've made one step on the road easier for them, I'm happy. I don't regret a thing.
Then let us pray that hope awaits at the road's end. You were offered a choice, a new destiny, and you accepted the challenge willingly. Do not falter now.
Oh, don't worry. I'm in this to the bitter end.
My journey. So we're finally here, huh? That we are! Oh, and what a journey it's been! Yeah, it's hard to believe how much I've been through. Not just me, all of us. Gloria had to leave her home and head off on a quest to recover the crystals. Elvis had to set out in search of the secret behind Lady Emma's book. And Adele, you had to try and track down your sister. And despite the fact that we all wanted different things, somehow we came together. Who would have ever dreamed we'd wind up playing a part in saving the world? It is pretty crazy now that you mention it. Perhaps it was our fate. Maybe. But that doesn't change the fact that every decision we made along the way was our own. I chose to come on this journey with you. I chose to join forces with you all and try to help Gloria get back what's rightfully hers. I still haven't changed my mind. I'll see this through, if it's the last thing I do. Alright, let's gear up and head towards the final crystal room. And our final crystal room is immediately to our right. Let's see what it's all about. If you've been keeping track, you probably know what element it is. This is the water room. Now, this room is definitely not a fan favorite from what I have seen on other posts. Its gimmick is perspective-based, as you can probably see. There are these underpasses and overpasses that you have to navigate. I will say, this is my favorite room aesthetically, like being able to walk around these rivers and the clear blue glass shape platforms and everything. I don't know, it's really, really pretty and is easily my favorite room aesthetically. No new enemies so far, so we just do the old bubble slash strat. Good max damage now.
I'm amazing.
Heal it all up and move forward. Got this guy right here. Oh, I need to put my divining rod on, don't I? So I know what I'm missing. Okay, divining rod. There we go. There were 5 total treasure chests for us, and that's number 4. That's number 1. We got 4 more to go. Let's go ahead and go here. So, story time for this area. I spent about a good 30 minutes in this zone, outside of fighting, just kind of exploring and just trying to find my way around this. I didn't have to use a guide for this area like I did for the Earth area, which I don't think I mentioned in my previous video, that I actually needed to use a guide to figure out where I needed to go for the Earth room. This one I didn't need that, but it still took me an embarrassingly large amount of time to try and navigate my way around this. You can definitely tell that I had quite the experience with this entire dungeon. Didn't have enough items, was really stubborn, struggled in a lot of these boss fights, especially Ashura there. Ashura took me a little bit. I actually had to level up Shield Master, which I hadn't really been doing all that much up to that point. I actually had to go back and level Shield Master in the dungeon, which didn't help my resources at all, in order to survive that fight. It was also the first time I experimented with using Elemental Supplement as a way of lowering the boss's damage. So that's where I learned of that, which was pretty fun. I like how so the dungeon can change perspective. They just don't let me control it. It has to be at their control. This dungeon brings out the worst in me, I'll be honest. It is a very cool dungeon aesthetically, and it is definitely a real test of your skill and knowledge with the combat system and how everything works together. But that doesn't stop the fact that I really, really, really hate some of how some of these areas are formatted. Let's see here. That, I believe, leads to the boss? I think so. So let's go over this overpass first. And obviously, it's not all doom and gloom. I do like the boss fights for the most part. I like the music, which I should probably let you listen to it for a little bit. A smiley badge. I don't think we've gotten that yet. Cheerful, decorative item that makes enemies less likely to attack. Is that all it does? Oh, yeah. Chance of being targeted -30. That's not too great, but, I mean, if you're having aggro issues with, like, a caster or someone who's very frail, you can put that on them. I just don't think I'll be making any use of that. Alright, down these stairs. We haven't checked this area out yet. Let's take a left. Just kind of do not want to go straight just yet, because that could very easily lead me to a boss. You know what, let's just go ahead and confirm it real quick. No, it does not. Okay, we're still a ways away. Okay, that's where the boss room is. I can see it. That set of stairs over there. Okay. So I don't have to worry about just being like, hey, there's a save point pad, and I haven't done anything yet. No, we still have quite a bit to go. There's 6 inks right there. Then let's go to the right. Let's see what's down here first. I don't think there's anything too significant. Probably leading me to either the boss room or a treasure chest. Let's hope it's the latter, so I can... Oh. I didn't see him! Oh my goodness. Oh man, the perspective in this game, so funny. I'm sure you guys were like, dude, he was right there. How'd you not see him? It's probably a commentator's curse, but still, it's definitely a frustrating thing. Ooh, Triplara. Okay, I like that button. Wait, hang on. Is Gloria my highest level Oracle? Have I not maxed out Oracle on anyone else yet? I have not. Okay, so we can start talking about a few of these abilities. We talked about supplements, reflects. This is going to be a very important ability, just to let you know. Place a magic reflecting barrier in front of a target for 2 turns. Pretty useful. Stop, attempt to stop a target. Pretty self-explanatory. Elemental ward, increase a target's resistance to a selected element for 3 turns. Again, a lot of elemental manipulation right here. You can use this to completely lock out enemies from dealing damage, especially if you supplement an element onto an enemy and then put a resistance on your party. You can make it to where you are immune or completely absorb their physical attacks. Noble Sacrifice. When the user is knocked unconscious, any unconscious allies will be revived with full HP. Can only be used once per battle. Put this on someone who is really, really tanky and is very likely to die last in a fight. If you do that, then if they die and your whole party wipes, everyone but them will come back to life and you'll be able to recover the fight. Hopefully, at least. Then there's Triplara. Perform up to 3 fire, water, or lightning magic attacks on a target in quick succession. Pretty strong attack if every enemy is at least neutral to those 3 elements. If they aren't, you can use elemental impairments to weaken their resistances. The job works pretty well together, if I do say so myself. And Elvis just learned Demon Slayer, maxing out Ranger. So I've got to figure out something else to put on him now. I want to try and max out as many jobs as I can, so it's looking like it's gonna be Arcanist. On you go. I don't think, yeah, he's overloaded. Of course he is. Let's give him a Divine Rod and a Buckler. That'll work. He's not doing too much fighting right now, so I don't think it's really necessary for me to worry about his damage output. We can just leave it to Seth for that. Have I gone in circles? I think I might have gone in circles. Okay, going back to where I was, let's loop around here, go back down the stairs, and let's see if we can take an alternative entrance. There's the stupid horse again. Okay, I saw him that time. Let's go to the left here. This takes me up a set of stairs, which will take me to the northwest end of the map. I think if I go down here, this should lead me to a treasure chest, potentially? Okay, fixed camera. Okay, cool. There's chest number 2. Dragon skin headscarf. Somehow I think that's heavy armor. It is not. It is magic armor, okay. Dashing magic enhancing headwear popular with military commanders. Was Adam? No, he was Lord Commander. So I guess Adam would have been wearing this. Silence and confusion immunity is actually pretty good. Put that on Gloria. There we go. And there's one more chest I have to find somewhere. Okay, so near the entrance to the dungeon is our last treasure chest. Literally enter the area and then turn right and then go up a little bit. You'll find it. Along with some Umbra elements. And bye-bye.
Hardly worth the bother.
Okay, now I'll see you at the boss room. Life ring, cool. Okay, I've made my adjustments. This is a fight I've been looking forward to for a long time. Time for some sweet revenge. Okay, so Seth is staying as Phantom, but I have moved his sub-job over to Salvemaker as he'll be playing support this time around. I know, very different. I do not want him attacking this thing at all. That would be very, very bad. So he's going to be utilizing items to do whatever he can, and whenever he can't do that, he'll be maybe chucking some items. I don't know. He's going to be the item guy today. Gloria is Oracle Pictomancer. Big thing about this encounter is I want to cast Reflect. Reflect is going to be a big godsend in this fight, and so we want Oracles on our team. So, she's here as Oracle, not only to level it up, but also to use Reflect. She also has Pictomancer, so if she doesn't need to be casting Reflect, she can sit there and debuff the enemy. Now, Elvis is going to be our tank, Shieldmaster, of course, but he's also going to have Freelancer, as Square 1 is actually going to be a pretty useful ability here. Yes, it'll get rid of the Pictomancer debuffs, but that is really kind of an aside thing. There's going to be something I want to showcase that has to do with Square 1, and so I'm going to be bringing Freelancer into this fight for that reason. And then Adele is going to be our primary damage dealer as Red Mage Oracle, not only to take advantage of Reflect and in one's own element, not in one's own element, but also so that she can use a lot of powerful attacks here. We're going to be needing to bring this enemy's elemental status down a little bit and impair them with a wind weakness, probably. So, again, having lots of oracles is going to be pretty important. Obviously, their builds have been built around, their abilities have been built around dealing damage, doing support. You guys know the gist, but this is going to be the build I go into this fight with. So, let's head on in. This bastard is my least favorite enemy in the entire game. And I have been preparing the entire playthrough for this fight against Genbu. Okay, let's see what we're up against. I'm going to use Survey because I'm pissed at my past self for not using this at any point otherwise. This rat bastard has 150,000 HP, is weak to water, daggers, and spears. And he loves Reflect. That is his favorite spell. Now, you'd be like, okay, well, I'll do a physical build then. The downside with that is if you were to use a physical build, Seth, would you care to demonstrate? This man has Reflect physical damage. Now, right there, didn't do that much damage. You know, that's understandable. But if you went in there and were like, okay, he uses Reflect. I'll use Neo Cross Slash to destroy this guy. Boom, boom, your guy is dead. He is gone. Now, there are ways you can get around this. There's an entire, like, Necro strat where, you know, you throw someone at them, they die, and you res them, and then they just do it again. You res them, you do it again, res them, do it again. I'm not going to be doing that here today. Instead, what I plan on doing is casting Reflect on our dear old girl Adele here. Obviously, now she counters, now this boss does counter, sorry, excuse me, I'm getting very excited. This boss does counter magic, which can suck. But the idea is here, if we can cast Reflect on our teammates. Now the idea here is that once we get around to Adele's turn, we can cast Reflect on herself, and it'll deal damage to him without even having to worry about Reflect. Now obviously he does half damage wind, which is annoying. If you apply Square 1 onto Genbu and remove his Reflect status, he is very likely, not guaranteed, but he is very likely to just immediately try to reapply it. Which means you can kind of cycle him into a point where he will only ever try to cast Reflect on himself. If he has more than 1 BP, there's very likely a chance that he will Brave multiple times, apply Reflect to himself, and then attack you. But for the most part, he is going to just sit here and spam Reflect on himself if you use Square 1 constantly. Again, if you're using a debuffer, you will override your own debuffs, so that can be a problem. Now that I've shut that all off, let's get into my real attempt, shall we? I had to switch things around to really take advantage of all this stuff. So we're going to be trying to lock him into a, let's just keep reapplying Reflect here. It'll be really funny, right? Go ahead and examine him so we can take an idea of how much damage we're actually doing to this guy. Go ahead and default here. We're going to want to default you for quite a bit. Again, we can buy a lot of time here by just spamming Square 1. And then if we were to cast, let's do Elemental Impairment on Adele here. Let's try to use Wind. Again, he does not have Reflect on, so make sure to keep that in mind. Make sure to check to see if he has Reflect if you're gonna do this. Okay, it seems like we got it. Okay, we did. We did get it. Cool. Now, let's go to Gloria's turn. And let's apply Reflect to our 2 main damage dealers. And then let's sing a magic boost attack right here. Work your magic. Please do not counter her again. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We can go ahead and get her up here in a second. First things first, let's just deal some good damage. Blizzaga time. There we go, dealing some decent damage. This is really going to be how I approach this encounter, so we're gonna be here for a little while, aren't we? Man, this guy is really not doing much anymore. Let's go ahead and start using Body Slam, I guess. Yeah, there's the physical attack counter going there. Dealing some decent damage to Seth. Ideally, we don't have to worry about that too much longer. As Elvis, I don't know if he'll close it out this time, but it'll get pretty close. 3,080 HP left. All right, Adele, finish this guy off. Ooh, there we go. Genbu is down. Now that is probably not the best way to fight him, but it's either that or you can do the physical strategy. But either way, this fight is going to take a while. He just is so obnoxious. If you really, really want to take this guy down super duper fast, bring a bunch of black mages, or, you know, bring a phantom who can guarantee your impairments will always land, and that way your red mages can rip them apart. There's so many different ways you can approach this encounter, which is really cool, but it also can be a little frustrating. And as ironic as it can be, we got a reflect ring for that one. Alright. One last crystal to go.
You remain as resolute as ever, chosen one.
Of course. My grandfather and Sir Sloane before me received the crystal's blessing and followed your path. I do not intend to betray their legacy, but this is not a choice I make under duress. It is a path I choose gladly and freely. The people of the world are in danger. As regent of Musa, I must go to their aid. After all, none of my countrymen remain to go in my place.
Your determination is clear. Naught more remains to be said.
Then I must be on my way. For the sake of this world, and for all those who have joined me on my quest.
Gloria's journey. Gloria? Is anything the matter? Oh, not really. You just looked a little, thoughtful, that's all. Really? I was simply thinking back over our adventures together, that's all. I set out on this journey because it was my duty to do so. The crystals had been recovered and had to be recovered, and order had to be restored. It was so hard at first, and it continues to be so at times. But since meeting you all, I've had so many happy memories too. It's strange to think that our time together will soon be at an end. I shall rather miss it all. Then why don't we set out on another journey just as soon as we're done? Aye, why the heck not? And this time, we can just pootle from place to place, doing whatever takes our fancy. Take our time about it too. Yeah, and once we're done with this little jaunt, let's get out there and see the world, on our own terms this time. I bet it would be... No, I know it will be super fun. Sounds good to me. Gloria? Yes, yes, of course. I would like that very much. Alright then. Next time on Bravely Default 2, we finish this once and for all, and seal away the Knight's Nexus. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.